This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are back with Western Mass Hypnosis Center. That's right. Ted Muszynski joining us, the owner and operator. And boy, oh boy, I could say he's a miracle worker because the work he does, he's helping people lose weight and so much more with hypnosis. And we're excited to have him back here to talk more about the work he's doing, the stress relief, the stopping of the smoking, the curing of the migraines. I mean, there's a lot to the work that he could do. So welcome. How are you today?
Great. Thank you, Jill. Thanks for having me.
Well, pleasure having you here. For those new timers, please tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do before we get into today's topics.
Well, we kind of continue from last week. I've been doing this for a good 32 plus years and 18 years on my own in my own business, Western Mass Hypnosis Center. It's designed to help people overcome ordinary problems that everybody has without making too big of a deal out of it, keeping it easy, simple. If you think about people going to psychologists and shrinks and all this kind of stuff, they're great people, but their problems, their solving methods are all based on Gestalt theory, which is something they're taught in school. And that's 22 years of sitting with somebody in an office and getting help. We hypnotists believe we can get the job done in a very short amount of time because we're focused on results. And the results can be accomplished by anybody simply from where you are, where you're at, challenging a particular goal and then going after it. Is that all making sense?
Totally is. Absolutely.
Great. So what I wanted to talk about today was really basics. Like, why does somebody decide to go and seek help?
Yeah.
One of the major factors of that is that we want help and we're willing to change. Willingness is the key, but not everybody asks the same questions of themselves in the process. So what do I mean? We have to come to a conclusion of something must change. It's a form of belief. And then we have to believe that I must change it. And then the last part is we have to believe that I can change it or we can change it. If you don't have those three fundamentals already set up, you're probably not going to go looking for help from anybody.
No.
So you take the idea of the quality of the questions we ask ourselves pretty much creates the quality of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of self-talk. We all do it. Some people do it silently. Some people do it overtly. Some people hear themselves in sentences. Some people don't. But the point is, just compare any person that you know who and how they talk out loud about something they really want to do and accomplish versus somebody who is afraid to accomplish something or is being coerced into something. Like when we're kids, your mother told you to take out the trash, that type of stuff. I don't want to. This is self-talk. So we have to begin the process of any understanding and healing and change with understanding how our self-talk works.
Amazing.
So we press on from there.
Okay.
You think about it, the 6 basic questions that people ask of themselves are who, what, when, where, how, and why. But some people ask them in the wrong order. If you think about it, think of a person who starts asking themselves, well, what should I do? And then you hear them say something like, well, I don't know. Well, that becomes an endless loop question.
Mm-hmm.
It's chasing your own tail. What if you started asking yourself, who do I need to go to with this question or with this outcome that I want? First of all, we have to name the outcome. So what we try to get somebody to do when they come in for any kind of help, especially stress-related help, and even the weight loss is easier because it's clearer, or stop smoking, it's specific. But what if somebody's not so specific and they've got stress issues? We ask them to try to name as best as they can, what do they want? And the next question is, how will you know when you get it? Okay, so you have a clear goal defined. And then You're asking the question, what will it look like? What will it sound like? And what will it feel like? This helps people who may not travel in the world of decision making the way we do, or goal-oriented people who already are there in this area, maybe never even considered those kind of questions. So now
Yeah.
they're asking for help, but they don't know how to get it. They don't know
Yeah.
how to get themselves there. They don't know how to succeed. By helping them with these questions, they end up having access in their own mind to a path.
Yeah.
Once they clarify their goal, as you well know, we end up being able to accomplish it more effectively. Now we can start asking the questions, well, who do I talk to about this?
Yeah.
When should I include it in my daily routine? What are the changes that I should be making? Where
Yeah.
I go for help? Once we start answering these questions, now we can start asking the why questions and the how. The how will kind of explain itself. If you know what you're going to do or what you're going to pursue, then you know how to do it
Mm-hmm.
because it shows itself. There was a nice phrase I read in a book a long time ago. I forget the name of the book, but it was about asking the right question, take the first step after that, and then the results will follow. The next step will appear.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins has a famous saying that goes like this: never leave the place of a decision without taking an action towards that decision immediately.
Yeah.
Action is the motivator, action is the follow through. If we don't take action, we get stuck. And what do we get stuck in? We get stuck ruminating on our own, I guess, pity party, if you will, for a
Mm.
better phrase at the moment. But
Yeah.
asking the why question now is a good time,
Yeah.
because what are the reasons you're making these changes?
Yeah.
You have a person who comes in and she wants to go to Disney from, let's say, the New York area or where we live in New England, and she's afraid of flying. But she really wants to take her kids because they're like 8 and 10 years old, and it's just the right age.
Yeah.
But she's afraid to get on that plane. She absolutely having a panic attack over it. She knows what she wants to fix. Now we have to help her get there.
Yep.
And this basically boils down to just changing her self-talk. But that's done
Mm-hmm.
through the hypnotic state and through several sessions. And then she changes her state, if you will, her emotional state, from one of fear to one of accomplishing a goal, or being pursuing something like she has accomplished in the past. We all have accomplishments
Yeah.
and we need to pursue them.
True.
But we don't always use the right equipment to pursue the ones that we're not so sure about or we're scared of. We will simply fall back on negative language that'll stifle us. Like, oh, I'm not so sure. Oh, I'm afraid to try this. Oh, this could hurt, or maybe it'll take too long, or I'm not.
Yeah.
And this kind of negative talk will stifle any of us, and that's the foundation of it. And you can also trace this back to biblical writing. There's a book out by a man called James Allen. It's called As a Man Thinketh. That comes right out of
Okay.
the Old Testament. We are we are captured, if you will, or trapped by the words of our tongue, of our mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So you either are going to say things that are going to help you to accomplish something, or you're going to say negative things that are going to stifle you and stuff you in a corner.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever had to work with a person who is in a depressive state, just listen to the way they talk,
So
and you'll
true.
hear right away that it's a never-ending battle inside of them because they have not yet been able to decide out of that negative talk. And this takes work. It takes time. And you have to talk them into it very gently and slowly. Think about a person who's a hoarder. Try talking them out of throwing out their stuff that they're protecting and keeping.
Gosh, yeah.
You know,
Can't.
there's a TV show out, actually. You watch these people, the hoarders.
Oh, my heart breaks. I know.
Exactly. Yeah, and they are aware. They're very unwilling to be talked out of it. So it's a very slow process to adjust them to see that it's actually causing them more pain to keep the stuff than it is the pain they perceive they're going to get from letting it go.
Yeah.
So this is in general, very quickly for the people here, is what we do is we help people get to a place where they are associating pleasure to their old fear and then pain to not getting out of that fear or debilitating limiting belief, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
This is all of it in a nutshell, and we have to help them get through it. There's no other way if they want to be helped through hypnosis. If they want to go the longer routes through my colleagues in the psychiatric or psychological field, that's fine. But we do it a little differently, if that makes any sense at this point.
It
It might
sure
be a lot.
does. This is amazing. This is a lot to take in, and I hope people were getting through this. Just want to remind everyone, Ted Muszynski here, and from Western Mass Hypnosis. You're working with people all over, right? You don't have to be in Massachusetts.
Sure. We can work with people over the phone. We've done Zoom calls in the past. Obviously, the major outcome from all of this is it is way better to go to somebody in your local area, because to get out of a unresourceful state, an emotional state, while you're in your own house, because of the comfortable surroundings, may be a lot more difficult. Whereas in somebody's office, like our office, you have a benefit
Yeah.
of changing the venue and thus changing your focus on more, I can do this, instead of being distracted by the same things that kind of keep us in our comfort zones, which is, we all have to have a comfort zone, a house, a place to be comfortable in, maybe an easy chair or something like that.
So true. Now, for those people out there listening today and wanting to make a difference to get started, I love hearing, obviously how you're helping. And could you give us some examples of the people that you're working with and how it works and how it's really changing lives like this?
Well, I started with the example of getting the mother to get to fly to Florida with her kids on a vacation that she's been wanting to take them on for years.
Mhm.
Different people have different reasons for being stressed out,
Yeah.
but it all boils down to, let's say you're dealing with a professional who has, we talked about this a little bit last week, but
Hmm.
a professional who has a difficulty public speaking, and yet they work for a company that requires them to present.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. So how does a person like that get past that? We help them to come in and change their self-talk through hypnotic suggestions so that they're not thinking of the negative thoughts that usually, you can almost use the term, put upon us or jump on us or jump on our backs when we're going to the crucial moment of standing in front of somebody to present a group of people, or maybe even on stage.
Hmm.
What is you've talked to actors and actresses, all of a sudden some of them have a panic
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Well, we all have doubts and negativities. We possess them, okay? Just like any thought. But a thought only lasts 6 to 9 seconds. If you give
Okay.
it room to climb into your head instead of just ignoring it,
Okay.
it will occupy your mind, and then you'll start to chase it like it's important. Like, I've even had clients tell me that. They say, well, the thought came into my head and I gotta do it. Oh,
You're
well,
like,
I don't
wait,
think so.
uh-uh.
But at the moment, that's where they're at.
Wow.
And so how do we help them interrupt that pattern
Hmm.
and get out of their own way? When we set up the process through a hypnotic session, or several hypnotic sessions, actually, in this case, then there's an automatic pattern interrupt that comes into play.
Okay.
They immediately switch to a different way of thinking.
Hmm.
Instead of acting on a thought, they just go, this 6 to 9 seconds is nothing.
Nope. Yep.
So think
Hmm.
about it. When you were a little girl, you may have competed with the neighborhood kids in holding your breath for as long as you could.
I remember that.
And some kid did 30 seconds, another kid did a whole minute, maybe you did a minute and a half, and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? But we all can do that because it's a game we all play as we're kids. So now, can we handle 6 to 9 seconds of holding our tongue? Absolutely. And that means not acting on the weird thought that just popped into your head.
Yes.
You may have had this happen to you, and I'm speaking to the people listening or watching. You're speaking to somebody face to face.
Yeah.
There's somebody very important to you. And what do I mean? They could be somebody you love and care about, somebody you respect, or somebody that lords over you the power to fire you or keep you on. A boss, let's say. And all of a sudden, in the middle of this serious conversation that you're having with that person, a thought pops into your head.
Yeah.
And it's really a nasty, bad thought.
Mm.
But we walk away from these experiences because we've all had them at this point
True.
without saying those words that came into our mind. And then we kind of walk away and go, oh my God, why did I open my mouth? Or why, thank God I didn't open my mouth is the word I'm trying to say. If I had said that, the consequences would have been unbearable for me
Yeah.
and that other person.
Yeah.
So we all have the capacity to avoid those crazy thoughts that pop into our head. We might even ask ourselves, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The point is that we have this capacity to actually not speak out those thoughts when they're so egregious. We just go, not doing it. So that's the ability we all possess already to avoid this 6 to 9 second thought that just floating through the ether and just happened to pop into our head.
Got it.
So now, where are you? You have a clean mind and you're ready to deal with the situation. Now, we started talking about this before. Last week, we mentioned body posture, physiology.
Oh,
is
that's
the
right.
quickest way
I'm like, oops, no. Yeah, you did.
exactly. To change your physical state or your emotional state, actually, the fastest way to change it is to change your body physiology. As you just showed us, you put your shoulders back, you sit them straight. There's a whole different result that you get in. Think of when you want to go in front of
Yeah.
to a hiring position or a respectful person's place, or even for maybe getting a new part in a movie or something. What state do you want to be in when you get there? When you're standing in front of those people? Don't you want to be in a peak state, the best state you could possibly be in, so you could access the best possible you? You want to put your best foot forward, some of the words, okay? So by changing your physiology, we teach you also to begin the process of recognizing that you change your emotions immediately when you change your physiology. The very next thing next fastest way is to change your focus. From what? The willies, the worries, or to change it to something like a previous success. For instance, we would help you to anchor in a particular behavior. You may have had a success when you were in high school or college playing sports of some sort, very common. You may not have been the absolute queen in your sport, but you may have had victories.
Sure.
Maybe a goal or a result, a block or something like that where you celebrated. Now, some people are visual celebrators. They're jumping up and down and they're cheering. Okay. Yeah, I did this, or the fist pump. Exactly. Or some people do it quietly and walk away and they go, yes, something of that nature. Either way, these celebrations can be copied and repeated in a new situation.
True. Yeah.
What if we could teach you how to do that for yourself and reduce it down to the snap of a finger just before you walk into the meeting room, so you straighten up and you're in a peak state, and now you're at the top of your game in front of these people. Even though all the preparation's already been done, what state do you want to be in going in front of these people to get the position that you're chasing, or the approval because of the work that you did, or you're volunteering for a new duty that they want you to do, and you're trying to convince them that you're the best person for this job. In order to accomplish that, we need to be in the peak state. And most of the time we experience this while playing sports. When you celebrated whatever you accomplished, like for instance, I don't know if I should ask you this, but I mean,
Okay.
how was your sports career when you were in high school or college?
How was what did you say, my sports career?
Yeah, what did you play?
Oh, nothing. I was a dancer. So I
Okay,
wasn't so I guess it's a sport, right? I was a dance teacher, so dance.
yes. So remember how when you got in front of the class that you were teaching or you were part of the class, what you discovered very quickly was that if you shook off all the negative stuff and just focused in on the dance that you wanted to learn or teach, you changed your state.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that state change is doable by your own will and whim
Ah,
if you manage it.
yeah.
State management becomes the goal of any
Mm-hmm.
person trying to accomplish a goal. So a lot of people don't know that they can put themselves into this peak state just at the will and whim of their mind. That's why other people who aren't aware of this will start falling back on the panic. And they'll have a little panic attack before they go into the office, and they'll stutter and stumble in front of the people that are trying to hire them. And they get all upset afterwards because they didn't get the job, et cetera. Well, a big part of it is they weren't in the right or they weren't in their peak state. So we
Correct.
teach people to get into that peak state automatically before they walk into the room so that at least that won't be their challenge.
Mm.
They will be able to accomplish anything much more effectively. Remember when you were teaching dance,
Mm-hmm.
things that you learned was that you had to be in the best state possible to make sure that those that were in the class who weren't there, you had to
Yeah.
come into it. So
Yeah.
that technique of bringing them into you and matching you becomes a guiding post to success. If they could get into the same mindset you had, all of a sudden they got a smile on their face and they're pulling off the
Yeah.
moves as they're supposed to. And now they're happy when they're walking out of the class because they had a great class. And they
Yeah.
get a credit, which is even more important. But beyond that, it's the idea of understanding that if we can manage our states, we'll accomplish more, no matter what the goal is. It could
Yeah.
be something simple, all right, as just relieving our stress several times a week or several times a day.
So true. Oh, I love this. Love hearing you. You're right. We need that type of stress relief in our lives.
Yes.
Please.
And that's what home hypnosis sessions do. And we teach people,
Okay.
we give them follow-ups that they listen to 30 minutes a day. And in the privacy of their own home, it helps them to get back to that even keel that they've been missing because most of us are just running around with our tongues hanging out,
So true.
overworked, overwhelmed, and looking for a relief in all the wrong places. Coffee
Yep.
doesn't do it, booze
Yep.
doesn't do it, drugs
Yep.
don't do it, and then all the other problems that come with that. So this is the best way that I've been able to find anyway to continue on every day
Yep.
and keep moving towards whatever my clients need. And it's pretty broad at this point. So with the amount of time that we have left, there's not much more I can get into other than
I
answer some of
know.
your questions.
Wow. Well, I just love the fact that, this technique and I just like want to bring up, and I know, weight loss is just a huge thing. I feel like so much right now and stress too, but weight
Yeah.
loss, my question to you is there's so many people doing all these drugs now, this Ozempic, those, I
Mhm.
don't even know the names of them, right? But
Yes.
there's so many bad side effects. And I feel like this is such a safe way to start with hypnosis because I mean, are you guaranteeing people are going to lose weight if they stick to this? I mean, basically, it's a win-win. It works. Um,
Right.
I know for a fact I had a girlfriend who did hypnosis for weight loss quite a few years ago, and she still, actually, she saw the hypnotist, I think like a year or two later for like a tweak and touch up. Is that true as well? Is that what she did?
Yeah. We offer service guarantees that way. Yep.
Perfect, perfect. And what was I saying about weight loss? Is
Your
that
girlfriend.
yes, but is this, mostly do people come to you for that and now all of a sudden it's the stress and there's just what would you say is the most common thing people are coming to you for?
To be honest with you, it used to be weight loss and smoking and then stress relief. Now the weight loss has been replaced by those drugs.
Okay.
So the people aren't really looking to change their lifestyle. They just want it done for them. So it's mostly smoking and stress relief at this point.
Yeah.
So people are, as you well know, especially in the entertainment industry, you see the world of people chasing fads. Okay, and this is the big thing right now. So they're going to chase that around for a while until some of the side effects start occurring and scaring them back off into realizing that in order to make our lives better, we have to take more control over the areas that we've neglected.
Yeah.
For instance, you say you're into dance and you're taught dance, or you do teach dance.
Yep.
All right. How good would you be 2 years from now if you didn't dance a single day between now and then?
Horrible.
Right. Because it requires constant effort.
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
part of a lifestyle. You
Mm-hmm.
eat a particular way, you live a particular way because you've decided that you're a part of your identity. A major part is you're a dancer.
Yeah.
And that requires you to take care of yourself a particular way. It doesn't mean that somebody who it doesn't take care of themselves as well as you do can't become a dancer, but they will see by doing it themselves that the changes need to be made if they want it to work better for them. What are their goals in dance? You see, it could be weight loss for them too.
Yeah.
And then they have to change their lifestyle over time if they really like it. And that's the way you get to really like something anyway, is when you fully involve yourself in it. So everybody has these challenges, but they're in a different place, different area of their life. So that's what we're offering, is solutions to whatever challenges come your way. We can help you, but it's going to take the acceptance inside of you that you're going to have to make some changes and allow these suggestions to do their work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Well, thank you so much for joining us, for
You're
being
welcome.
here and telling us this is possible to get your life back in so many different ways. How can we contact you?
413-397-2699 is the quickest way to get a hold of me. You can go to our website, westernmasshypnosiscenter.com. Otherwise, that's the easiest and best ways. We do have a Facebook page. You can look into that and leave a message there as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And looking forward to the next time we get to connect. Have a fantastic day.
You too, Jill. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so
Take
much.
care.
Bye-bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.